have Bethany in her own words in that police interview. So let's compare with some of the statements that we have. What's released is the full interview, police interview with Bethany the day of or the day after. I believe it's the day of. And she talks about some very interesting things in this. Let's dive in. Bethany states that she does get home around 1 o'clock in the morning. Her, Dylan, and another friend are watching Vampire Diaries in the living room. Kaylee and Madison get home between 1:45 and 2 a.m. Bethany says that they went up to Kaylee's room to talk, chat. Kaylee and Maddie were eating their food, and then they realized that they needed to take Murphy out. So Maddie and Bethany take Murphy out. Bethany does not stay out very long. She says it's cold, so she comes right back in. And it is believed that she goes back down to her bedroom, but she doesn't really say. The next thing she says is that Maddie comes down to her bedroom, knocks on her door, and asks if she has Murphy, and she says no. And that was about 2:30 or 3 o'clock. This is just a question that I had when reading and watching and listening to everything was, if Murphy is Kaylee's dog and Maddie was extremely impaired, which she talks, like everyone says Maddie was very, very impaired at this point, why didn't Kaylee take out Murphy? I don't understand quite that, but it just could be that she just did. I don't know. I also wonder if this happened a lot where Maddie took out Kaylee's dog. I don't know. I just kind of have that as a question. And Bethany says that she was watching a TV show and tried to go to sleep, and the next thing she knows is that she woke up to a flash and a noise. The flash was coming from underneath her door. She thought this was a firework. That's because there was a loud bang and a flash at the same time. Bethany heard this loud bang, but Dylan did not. I feel like that's kind of impossible, so one of them is either having a mixed up story or something's going on there, but Bethany said that she heard what seemed like a firework and saw it. This does not make sense. This does not fit in the narrative at all. Then she goes on to say that Murphy was barking. There was quite a few loud noises, and so she tried to call the roommates. Then she stated that Dylan called her, which we know is false. Bethany did call her, but in the commotion, we could just say maybe that got mixed up. And then Dylan came down to her room between 4:20 and 4:30, told her what she saw, and also said that Dylan did see Xana, but she thought that she was just passed out on the floor. In this interview, she also states that Kaylee did see a man looking at her when she was taking Murphy out before. And so this is a detail that's very interesting. She also talks about how Kaylee and her ex-boyfriend share Murphy and that they're on good terms, but they share the dog together. This is something police end up questioning her quite a bit, is if there's good terms there, if Kaylee's ex would possibly do anything, stuff like that. Then that was really the end of the interview. So let's talk about Jack for a second, Kaylee's ex, because this is what I think is very interesting. So Kaylee and Jack had been together since sophomore year of high school. They had a very long relationship. They shared Murphy. They were very close. And it seems like very weird timing that Kaylee was breaking things off for good with her ex, it seemed, because she was moving to Texas. And she was questioning that decision a little bit, but it seemed like they were going to split for good. And that just seems weird timing to me. I think it's just something that needs to be pointed out. And I think that kind of backs up a lot of what happened, because Kaylee and Maddie called Jack several times that night. Both of them, which is odd, I think, but both of them gets called Jack, and there was actually a phone call that was picked up from Jack, and it was 7 minutes long. He says he thinks that he just hit his phone and it turned on, but this was a 7-minute phone call between Kaylee and Jack doesn't remember it, and it's a very interesting detail to me. It's just a very weird timing piece that always gets to me and I think is strange. It could be nothing, but I do think it's strange. Dylan's and Bethany's statements have caused a lot of online controversy. People adamantly question the roommates, and they have been attacked both personally and online, and I don't think that they deserve all that they've gotten, but it has been a lot. But I think it's because certain details do change, and it could be because of trauma. It could be nothing, but I think there is a lot of inconsistencies there, and people just dwell on it. I think they dwell because it is a big part of this investigation. It does contribute to the timeline. It contributes to what was going on in that house. And so their statements just have such a big impact on what happened. So here's my question for you. Do you think without the surviving roommate testimonies, do you think this whole case falls apart? Or do you think it still stands that it was Bryan Kohberger, and without them knowing anything, it still would have led back to him? Let me know in the comments below. Like I said, please be kind to everyone, me, the surviving roommates, everyone else. Please be kind. Let me know all your thoughts. Please click that follow button, and I will see you tomorrow. Oh, and you're going to want to be here because tomorrow I start the in-depth crime scene videos, and it might be like 8 pieces long. I don't know. I'll see you tomorrow.